Our beings, this is Psychic Siren Tarot and welcome to the channel. In today's reading we're going to be taking a look at what qualities do people usually recognize in you. So please be aware this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. We have 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1 we have Sodalite and the 7 of Cups. For pile number 2 we have orange Calcite and the Tower. And for pile 3, we have Golden Cat's Eye with the stars. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be a pile for today. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamp for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose the Sodalite crystal and the 7 of Cups, this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at qualities people usually recognize in you. So you, of course, chose the 7 of Cups. I have pre-shuffled your cards. We have the 7 of Wands in the reverse, the Hierophant, the 4 of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Hangman. And at the back of the deck, we do have the High Priestess. So please be aware this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. So I'm hearing that you're a very lucky person, at least to others. It seems like things happen very easily for you. But I also get here that you're someone that's a big dreamer and you have, like a very big imagination. I think this pile is also very innovative, and those are qualities people usually notice in you, how innovative you are, how creative your ideas are. You have an ability to think outside of the box, my pile ones, and also communicate and express those ideas to the world. Because you chose the Sodalite crystal, Sodalite is a crystal of communication. So people could notice that you're very expressive with your communication and that you show a lot of the different sides of your personality while you are, speaking to people and having conversations with them. It is 3:33 on the clock. So people have noticed how supportive you are. They think you're someone that always follows your heart. And they think that you're someone that is really supportive to those you love. Not only do you have big dreams and goals and wishes, but you also want the best for those you love. So my pile number ones, people think that you have a unique personality, that you are multidimensional and you have many different sides to you as a person. And you're also somebody that can see things in very different perspectives than most people. I mean, we have the Hangman here and the High Priestess. I think a lot of people see you as very wise in some way, an old soul. You have a lot of wisdom for your age is what I'm getting, but you also have this childlike nature to you at the same time, which is quite interesting and lovely. I think a lot of people appreciate and admire your qualities, my pile number ones. You do things on your own terms. You go at the beat of your own drum. You're also very selfless and giving. And people see you as somebody that's very dreamy. You may daydream a lot or have your head in the clouds for some of you. Some of you may be very artistic and people know that. I hear that you have an ability to let go. You don't hold on to things for the longest time. You have an ability to bounce back, whether you see that in yourself or not. This is other people's perception of you, so keep that in mind. People think you're very playful, loving, intuitive. There's something about the women here or those that wear lipstick, it looking very good on you. I feel like a lot of people are attracted to your lips, and for some of you, you're more like cute and dreamy, whereas others of you have a little bit of a sensuality to you. and a flirtatiousness to you where people are not sure if you're flirting with them or not. I kind of get that. And people like to look at your lips and your smile while you speak. That's just coming through clairvoyantly for some here. I think people notice that you're very in touch with your heart space. And although I hear you've been through murky waters, you know, I'm hearing that kind of like Instagram reel that's like tough times never last. But it's kind of like a funny reel from South Africa, so I don't think people from all over the world will understand it, but it just made me laugh. So your spirit guides could be showing me that showing me indirectly that you are like very funny as a person. You make jokes and you make people laugh. Yeah, like even looking at the Hierophant card there, he's laughing. People just really like your smile. People also notice that in the past you may have been very forgiving, so much so that there were certain people in your life that didn't deserve a place in your life. But I feel like you learned your lesson with the Hierophant, and that's just for some here. Like you learned your lesson and you had more discernment up for a while. You were more so like not trying to not see the red flags in people, but also not looking for them at the same time. So I guess you were just like very discerning in the past because I feel like some of you had gotten hurt or disappointed. That's just what I feel intuitively. And some of you were single for a while to do some healing on yourself, is what I'm getting for not all, just some. This pile has done. I don't know why I keep slipping over my words in this pile. It's making me laugh. I feel like so giggly today in your pile. I don't know why. Maybe you're just like a giggly, fun person to be around. People really like your presence. Um, yeah, I was saying that I feel like you've really done a lot of healing work on the solar plexus, on your self-worth, on the way that you feel about yourself. You've developed a lot of self-love. And it's almost like people see you as somebody that sparkles. Like, I'm almost seeing glitter all around you. So they view your energy to be like sparkles. I love that. And I think that's just for some here if you resonate with that. And then for others of you, I'm clairvoyantly seeing rainbows. Like people view you to be sort of like a rainbow, very colorful. People also recognize that you are a very peaceful person and you value and honor your peace. So now let's go ahead and show you the oracle cards we pulled. So we have receptivity, allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. And then we have peace. I love that we have peace in the Four of Swords. I feel like people just feel at peace around you and they feel comfortable and safe around you. And it says there is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. We have expect a miracle, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. We have undying love. The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. I'm noticing we have a lot of light yellow cards. Yellow again with independence. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Okay. And then we did have an extra card with cycles and rhythms. Honor these cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. So we do have Aphrodite at the back of the deck with Inner Goddess. So this is the kind of like romantic energy I was picking up on. I think sometimes people crush on you like after being around you with Aphrodite here because she's a goddess of love, goddess of beauty. So that definitely shows up very strongly. I think people notice that you're very receptive to their conversations, that you're listening carefully, that you're taking notes of everything they're saying to you. So I think people are also noticing your good communication skills. You know how to give information, but you also know how to receive and listen. Something about that is showing up very strongly. So people notice how you communicate, the way you communicate, and I think people really like your communication skills. I keep getting the sensuality in this pile. Like, I keep getting that people are very, very attracted to you. Some of you may have connections to Egypt or ancient Egypt. And with all the yellow here, this is literally the solar plexus energies. You've been finding your self-worth. You have been healing this. You've been learning to become more confident in yourself with Aphrodite here as well. You've been learning to see your own beauty, have self-love with Aphrodite here. And people could also notice that you're a very romantic person. You give off this very sacral chakra, heart chakra energy, like very romantic and sensual. Just from your vibe and aura. And it's not like you necessarily have to do anything, it's also just in the way you move and your energy. But then with Mother Mary here, there's also a little bit of innocence and cuteness to this pile, like a kind of polarity. As we said before, you have a duality to you, a dualistic nature. I think I said that before, but yeah, I do see that. You could also be seen as somebody that wants children or has children in this lifetime or would be a good parent. But if you're not planning on having kids, then just leave that message. So the thing is with you, I feel like you're learning to trust again with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. You're letting your guard down to love again. I think people see you as the type of person that is going to either be in a serious relationship or has a lot of people wanting you in some way. With the Seven of Cups, this may be like people thinking you have a lot of people trying to offer you love in some way. Very interesting. I think in the past, some of you may have struggled with doubting your intuition because Spirit told me to look at the High Priestess upright and reverse. So there's something about you having a strong intuition, and your heart always leads you everywhere you go. And your intuition usually comes through in small nudges of excitement, I hear for some. Like when you get excited about an opportunity, that is a sign. Or when you get excited about a dream or a goal or a relationship, it could be a sign that something good can happen, but it could also be a sign of you manifesting that energy through your energy, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's intuition or manifestation, but you'll have to hear and decide for yourself. So, people also think you're somebody that makes a lot of time for self-care and you do little things for you that make you feel good. I think people recognize that you make time to appreciate the small little things in life, to romanticize the small little things in life. The things about your day that make you really happy. People could see you as very divine in some way as well, and very independent. And you think independently, you see things independently. You don't necessarily rely on somebody else's opinion, if that makes sense. Because basically, what I'm trying to say is you can think for yourself. That's what people notice about you. You don't have to look for others for information. You can do things independently on your own. You're good on your own. Like, you don't need anybody, is basically what people notice, but you do invite people into your life in love as well. You have an ability to make everyone around you feel calm, even when there are high stress moments. Or you yourself have an ability to Regulate your own emotions in high stress emotions and seem at peace and in calm. Make everybody else around you peaceful and calm too. I get that with Expect a Miracle. You're so chilled and laid back, and you have that type of energy with undying love that people have wanted in a relationship or friendship. It's like people have been praying for a person like you with traits like you, and then when they start to notice that you have similar traits, it feels like their heart starts to draw them towards you. I feel like a lot of people do like you and do eventually start to have some sort of love for you if the relationship progresses. And people also really appreciate you, Pile 1. I get that you know how to get through to people's hearts. Like a person with a heart that is so closed off, even, you could somehow make your way into their hearts. Like you sneakily do that. I don't know, like I'm kind of getting you steal people's hearts if I want to make a point there. And it's somehow like they don't expect it. And then they get very emotional for you. I don't know why. Like they just develop very deep emotional connections to you. And they also notice that you're somebody that honors your own emotions. You don't hold back with that. As well as your energy levels, like when you're tired or you just don't feel like doing something. You make time for self-care when you need it, or yeah, like maybe you treat yourself once in a while or something along those lines where you know when your body is asking you for something, you know when your soul is asking you for rest. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's not that you make time for rest all the time and that you're not busy, but I just mean that, on days when you're really stressed out or you need a mental health day or you need some self-care, an extra TLC, then you give that to yourself. And people see you as a person with a lot of self-love, as I said before. I'm getting with the Seven of Cups and receptivity. Not only are you a big dreamer, but you're also receptive to hearing other people's goals and the things they want to move towards. Like, people don't sense an ounce of jealousy from you. Like, you're very much motivating them to go towards that, is what I hear from Spirit. And some people, you'll tell them about your dreams and they won't be as excited as you, but I feel like you're that type of person that gets excited to hear other people's good news as well. And you are maybe a very thoughtful person. You remember many little different things about people that they've told you that they never thought you would remember. So beautiful message to end off here. So this is what I have for you, pile number ones. I really hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this orange calcite crystal and the Tower card, this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what qualities do people usually recognize in you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So as you can see, I've already pre-shuffled your cards. The first card we have is Death and Rebirth. Then we have Two of Wands, Judgment, the Emperor, Temperance, the Nine of Cups, and we have the Four of Swords at the back of the deck. So let me just reflect on your cards and see what I can pick up on here. Okay, so the first thing that is very prominent to me is the fact that on the Tower card there are orange butterflies, and then we have the Death and Rebirth card. So butterflies are usually symbols of transformation. And I felt very drawn to letting the butterfly stick out, and I had no idea why. So that's why I used the orange calcite crystal so that the butterflies stand out next to the crystal. But now I see why your spirit guides guided me to do so, because there's clearly a very big transformation you went through in your energies as a person. You have completely transformed. I'm getting that in the past you were very, very different to what you are like now, and people are noticing those changes within you in the best possible way. What I'm also noticing here is we have 4, 14, 4. So 444. So I feel like you're very energetically protected by spirit. And I don't think this is something people would necessarily notice, but people notice your angelic qualities. You're a very pure soul, my pile number twos. And people usually notice that kind of innocence. People notice and recognize that you're so loyal, that you're so caring, that you're a ride or die for those you love. You're so protective over those you love. You make those you love feel seen and supported. And I feel some here are also cheerleaders to those you love. And some people may actually call you an earth angel or an angel in human form. I'm really getting that strongly. That's very beautiful. Your energy is very beautiful. That's what people usually notice. Like your aura just radiates when you walk into the room, and it's so full of this bright white light energy that you just glow, my pile number twos, like literally. And even after this healing journey, you're glowing even more because, temperance is kind of like the alchemization of the old energies. And with judgment reverse, I know this is not what the judgment card means, but as I look at this card in this angle, I'm kind of getting the feeling of release, a release happening within your energy, where you've released the old version of yourself. Very interesting. I've never seen that in the cards before. I hear you're a diamond soul. People see you to be quite like a diamond. You didn't crack under all the pressure you went through in your life. You held and carried a lot emotionally that weighed you down, but you didn't let it completely drag you down. You released that energy and you healed, and people are noticing how you've healed, how you've transformed, how you're not that same version of yourself you were once before. And although you have an angelic nature, you also accept your own duality. You accept differences with others too, and people notice that you're not somebody that has a big ego, is what I'm hearing. I don't know if some here are open about spirituality to others or do things like astrology, or I think some of you are healers. I'm seeing some of you are artists, some of you have gifts with guiding children, and some of you are very intuitive. Yeah, even the lilac here is making me think of intuition. But with the red here, I'm also getting that you're very romantic and you're a very peaceful soul. That's what people usually notice about you. You could be seen for some as a little bit shy or quiet at first until you get to open up to somebody. You're seen as a little bit stoic in public, but I feel like this is contradictory because I feel like some of you are a little bit more stoic and then some of you are a little bit more extroverted and friendly and like you smile a lot. So I guess it just depends on the person watching pile 2, but something about that is what people notice depending on what you resonate with. Some of you work as doctors or nurses. Okay, and then 9 of Cups here. I think people notice that you're a big dreamer. You chase your goals, your dreams, your desires. You could be treasured by many, liked by many, admired by many. Though I feel for some, there is also this aura of mysteriousness and kind of like enlightenment I hear. But then I also hear that some of you are intimidating to others a little bit. But it's because your strength shows through. I feel like it's your aura that's also very strong and powerful, where people naturally sense that your aura is very big. Even if they're not intuitive, we usually can feel and sense people's energy on an unconscious level if they're not spiritual. of course. So we have fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So I'm getting with fertility and the Tower, you wanted to create a transformation for yourself and heal from the past. Or you wanted to transform yourself in some way and create a new version of self. Some of you had the strong urge to work on something in your life to transform either your physical nature, like going to the gym, eating healthier, or like your health in general, or it could be your skincare, making more time for self-care. This kind of reminds me of the Empress. So I say self-care, self-love as well. And then also the mind, body, soul. So like your mind, your mental health, your soul, spiritual growth and enlightenment. I think just take what resonates, but there's been a transformation in one of those areas of life, or your finances, or your own personal development and growth. So we have focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. This is something you intended to go towards, and I love that we have purple here because I mentioned that you're such this intuitive person. And I just got a notification as I said that, so that's a confirmation. There's a message that other people see your value, other people see your potential, because if you've already been able to transform this much as a person, imagine where you'll be in the future. I feel like other people admire you more than you realize. They see you as very powerful and valuable in some way. I feel like a lot of people also just naturally respect you. At least right now, we have don't back down, stand up for what you believe is right. We have be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. And then let's just move this to the side. The heartbreak's coming out, a choice. So maybe you had to make some choice to leave somebody behind, even though it was heartbreaking to you for somebody here, because they were just not good for you and your emotional health. But it seems like you've been much happier ever since. And then we have Medicine Woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. Okay, so I'm getting here a strong message that people notice you're very in touch with your heart space. I mean, we have green here and green here, which is the heart chakra energy. You always follow your heart. You always follow your intuition, and people notice that about you. You don't listen to other people's opinions, because I'm kind of getting this energy like your intuition always knows best. Other people's opinions are their own thoughts and beliefs. And sometimes their advice is just an opinion they have or a perspective they have. And like, you kind of do things on your own terms. You already know what you want to do. I feel like when you watch readings, you probably already know. And if you ever feel confused or lack clarity, when you watch readings, it more so confirms what your intuition tells you rather than you finding the answers there, if that makes sense. And I feel like for some of you, you don't. Like, you just watch readings for entertainment because you already know what to do. You already know what you want to do. You're already focused on something big you're transforming. Some of you are very mysterious and private about what this is, but people can tell you're in the process of creating something. So I don't think people would know what tarot readings you watch, but I think that people just notice that you always have your focus on something, and when you focus your intention on something, your eyes are on the target. You're very determined to transform your life to what you want it to look like. Your dream life, your dream personality. And I feel like a lot of you are going to share healing through some method with the medicine woman here. So you are medicine woman or medicine man. You're very spiritual, this pile, or at least you are very open to those energies. And I'm kind of getting here that people see you having a bright future because of this. This card came out with it. And I feel like some of you are meant to be doing this through your intuition, or you channel messages that help you, that help others heal and help you heal, or you channel ideas. Can be even artistic, like let's say you channel idea artistically and you kind of channel healing energy with your art. Or some of you, like I said, maybe a doctor or a nurse, or very healing to children in some way. I feel like you heal animals and animals heal you. Very cool. I love that. I don't know why, but all the spiritual energies coming through where I can't help but see those messages. So I don't know if you just need to hear that right now, but I'm going to try and not go too much off topic. But I feel like, yeah, people notice how intuitive you are. People notice how healing your energy is. And people notice that you're going to have a very bright future with the way you're going at things. When you put your focus on something, you don't back down from it. You're very strong and determined, and you're going to get somewhere. You're going to get far in life because of those qualities and traits. And a lot of people admire and find inspiration from that. People also think you're going to be very abundant in this lifetime, physically and financially and emotionally. So you're very strategic, but you use your intuition to help you know what decisions to make, my pile number 2. And people think you're going to be creating a legacy within this lifetime. You could also be good at expressing your ideas out into the world, self-expression in some way. And then I also feel this pile is a master manifester, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming your way, doors opening for you. I think people see that potential, and people see you as somebody that can just manifest all your dreams, all your wishes, everything you want in life is yours. We have fairness. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Let me show you the back of the deck. So the back of the deck says, quiet time, take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. Lovely. So I feel like some people think you are somebody that needs your quiet time, somebody that needs peace. Like you look for peace in your connections. You're not ready or willing to give up your peace of mind, because for me, I'm getting that some of you have healed from certain connections that were very karmic, that were imbalanced in some way, where some of you went through very unfair things in life. And it's almost like people know that, but people think that if anybody has done you wrong, that you're going to get your justice for that, and the universe is going to give you karma, but good karma, and the universe is going to bring them bad karma. And so I see this energy of the universe being fair with you now and blessing you abundantly now. Not that the blessings would replace the pain you've gone through, but I guess it just wasn't your fault in the situation, and it was this person's choice with these justice scales. It's reminding me of choice where, people have free will, and sometimes if people choose to hurt or betray us, it's like they have free will, but it's still hurtful. But because they have free will, that's why they can get karma, because there's consequences to their actions, and the universe sees that. That's basically what I'm getting there. They think that you're a very fair and balanced person. You're very rational. and strategic, like I said before. You could like to take alone time to meditate, do yoga, wear crystals. People could also notice that you're making more space for happiness and joy at this time of your life, and you're making more space for a positive mindset and kind of like appreciating the good things in your life, finding the gratitude for life again, the spark for life again, as well as still continuing to kind of like give yourself peace, give yourself rest, nurturing. Some of you could communicate in very intense ways or very fiery ways, I'm getting, whereas some of you could communicate in a very soft but loving way. And your whole vibe just is very peaceful. I think people really like being around you, being in your presence. You're also okay with being alone. I'm getting hermit energy from this pile. So signs I see are Sagittarius, Scorpio definitely. So I also heard Leo, and there's also Libra here. And I mentioned the hermit, so maybe also Virgo. And then I'm also getting Aries and Cancer. I don't know if I mentioned Cancer. There's a lot of signs coming through. Pisces and also Capricorn. There's a lot of signs I mentioned. Okay, but anyways, I feel like people see you as very like a good decision maker as well, and they see you as very intelligent and smart, but it doesn't necessarily, I feel like your pile, you don't necessarily have to show your intelligence to the world. It can be seen through the way you carry yourself and through the decisions you make, through the choices you make, through the things you've done in your life. Like people can see you're very smart, and I feel like you're my pile of people that don't necessarily have to prove you're smart. People can just see it, and you also have this very regal energy and very beautiful defined features on your face where people really think your beauty is unmatched, I hear. Like there's just something about your beauty that is coming through quite strongly. Some of you could also have natural leadership abilities. And yeah, I keep picking up on a lot of wisdom. So this is your reading pile number 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this golden cat's eye crystal and the star card, this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what qualities do people usually recognize in you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So my pile number 3s, the first thing I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the signs Aquarius, the earth signs Taurus, I said Pisces, but that's a water sign, but maybe it's coming through significance. So yeah, the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then the water signs, Pisces just kind of intruded. So Pisces is emphasized here. And then we have Cancer and Scorpio. And I feel like Scorpio is also emphasized here because I do feel like this pile feels love quite intensely and feels emotions quite intensely. And I feel for you, like people notice that you're a very loyal person where it's very difficult for you to, like leave connections behind because you hold on to them a lot within your heart. Even once they've left your life, you still do remember the good memories, but some people, we kind of grow distance from them, we grow apart for them for natural reasons, and they're only part of a season of our life. But then some people we really hold close to our heart, and we miss them, even though we know that chapter has ended. Yet there's other people where we have to let go of them because we need to make a choice and decision for our own mental health. Because with the Nine of Swords, I'm kind of getting two things here. Why am I saying the Empress? Maybe you have Empress energy. The Queen of Cups popped out while I was shuffling your cards. So we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups energy here. And I kind of get that you're very compassionate and empathetic. And for some people, for some of you, you can be like an energetic sponge and absorb their emotions because you're very empathic. And so being around very low vibrational people, being around people that I want to say are very negative can weigh heavy down on you, is what I'm getting. And it's just a lot for you to be around people like that because I actually feel like you're a very positive person. And so I think what people usually notice is that you need positive people around you. You need people that have faith. You need people that believe that, believe in the light, believe in the miracles. And of course, we can have compassion for those people that are in more lower emotions and kind of going through it emotionally, but I feel like you've been around certain people for some that really made you feel low and made you feel like they were bringing you down with them. And so you had to let them go with love. Whereas some people just made negative choices that impacted you and impacted your feelings in not such a nice way, in such negative ways. So I feel like you had to love them from afar and let them go. Especially if it was like somebody that was hurting you emotionally. That's what I'm getting here. I hear never let you go. So there are people that see you as the one that got away. They never let you go. Interesting. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but you're the one that got away. And like you give off this Empress energy. So there can also be Libra energy here. I mentioned Taurus. A lot of Venusian energy. But also, I feel like this pile is quite cosmic in some way. And I feel like you have this very ethereal look to you. Whereas some of you, I feel like you kind of have more of like a bougie type of, or spiritual type of vibe to your look. Like almost like Earth Fairy, I'm getting for some. Or like a spiritual type of look where you wear crystals. Or some of you look quite witchy. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. And I'm seeing some like anime here. Or have certain interests in things people notice. I feel like your aura and vibration has a lot of light. And people usually recognize that within you. People usually recognize your energy and really like your vibe. They love your energy. Your energy is also very pure, very loving, very empathetic and nurturing. And people can tell that straight away that you have such a beautiful heart. I feel like you operate in your heart chakra energy and you have a high level of empathy that is quite healing to others. You may be from pile 2 for some of you because the star comes after the tower. It's the healing after the tower. The healing after the chaos. So some of you have been on healing journeys, healing from the past, letting go of the past. I heard Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars. That may be significant for some. Yeah, like people see you as a very peaceful yet positive individual. And you're also somebody that not only is very emotionally intelligent and wise, you know how to balance and regulate your own emotions, but you are also somebody that is, like having a lot of depth to you and mystery too. You could also be somebody that really focuses on your health, especially your physical health, because people think that you look very healthy, that you have a certain type of glow to you. You shine like a star, and this pile is very conventionally attractive. And people usually notice the way you do your makeup. For my women here, for those that wear makeup, they really like the way you do your makeup and your makeup skills. And there's something about people also admiring and recognizing that you have a good music taste, good taste in food, and also good taste in movies and series or documentaries for some. I love that. Some of you are content creators or have a very prominent social media platform where people often go to your social media and are very intrigued by you, are interested in you and your life. Okay, so we have start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So some people may notice that you're very independent. Although you're very loving, you also have learned to do things on your own. You've also learned like to be okay on your own, to be independent. You love hard, but you also are okay on your own is what I'm getting. You're not afraid to be on your own and alone, and like you can do things on yourself. You're self-sufficient. It's like that kind of Aquarius rebellious energy for my Aquariuses here. And you're also a big dreamer. You have a lot of faith and belief in your goals, your dreams, the things you want in life. People believe you have an ability to achieve things on your own, to turn anything you touch to gold. And the energy you exude is like you look very much like you found enlightenment as well as peace within yourself. You're also very joyful and optimistic, and you're very helpful towards others. But I think sometimes people could notice that maybe some of you have a tough time asking others for help because you've learned to do things on your own, but then others want to give to you. They want to support you. We have compassion, release judgments about yourself and others, and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. I think people see you as very nurturing, compassionate. The Queen of Cups energy is coming through. Some of you may have Kuan Yin or Green Tara around you as spirit guides, or you may give off energy similar to them. I still get this very healing energy and how you're very in touch with your heart. Your heart always guides you. And you have transformed, you have bloomed like the lotus. You may have not been through easy life circumstances, but you have bloomed through that. And you're not judgmental, like people feel like they can tell you anything, and you're also good at keeping a secret. You may love nature or going out to the mountains or the forest, something about that's coming through, or you have this deep connection to the stars or the ocean. I guess just take what resonates. Some of you may also have a mermaid-like energy or fairy-like energy, or just like a very mystical energy to you. Like you're very otherworldly is what I'm getting, and unique. But you're also very humble. And you see the love and light within everyone. You see the beauty within everyone. You also have very cute cheeks, and yeah, there's this element of cuteness to your face and to the way that you are in your personality. We have bright future, stop worrying, everything's going to be fine. We have easy does it, there is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Some of you may love to play singing bowls or listen to singing bowls or meditations, or people just kind of get that vibe from you. And like people kind of get the vibe from you that you may like to travel or go on holiday. We have leap of faith, take a risk, and put your heart's true desire into action. This card kind of reminds me of the Fool card. Let's just do this. We also have unconditional love, and just need to cover this card. Divine passion. So both cards say, love yourself, others in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be, and be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So people notice that you're a risk taker. You're easily able to jump into an opportunity or kind of like jump into something without thinking too much about it, without like having doubt hold you back. And I know that sounds contradictory because I feel like some of you do have fears, but it's like people see you as a fearless person or very courageous in some way. You know, you may have fears for some, but just not let it hold you back. Or at least it seems so to the outside world. I heard perfectionism. Some may see you as perfectionistic, or you seem very perfect and put together and like you have your life together to others. So I guess it just depends on their perception of you. People also see you as somebody that is very selective of who you give your time and energy to, and especially in the sensual way, because I'm getting a lot of people are sensually attracted to you, are attracted to you and find you, you know, seductive. A lot of people do end up crushing on you with the Two of Cups, but some people actually do have the leap of faith to tell you, whereas some people don't. Like some people are too shy to, but then they kind of leave without telling you and then they regret it. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's kind of cute. Like some people even go like days without talking to you, but then think about you the whole time. I'm kind of getting that. And then they try to make it seem like they're not interested in you, but they are. And I'm getting a lot of people want to form relationships to you or be a friend to you. Whereas I feel like some people here in this pile are not afraid to reject people because you have high standards for yourself. I forgot to show you the back of the deck. Okay, so we have Medicine Woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. You've released a lot. You've released a lot and you've manifested a lot too through that release. I hear like better is coming and people see how once you've healed from something, you always bounce back. You always become very strong or stronger than you were before. Like no situation will truly break you. And people also, I keep getting like a sexiness from this file. People find your body sexy. But I'm almost getting this sassy vibe from you. Like, you can look but don't touch. I don't know who that is for, but that's for somebody here. And people can also see you either being quite abundant right now because we have the Queen of Pentacles, or they can see you being quite abundant and prosperous in the future at whatever endeavor you decide to go towards. Some of you have a very unconventional work or very unique work or very unique in your ideas. Something about that is coming through. I think you're very innovative and passionate about what you do, or you have certain hobbies that you're very passionate about that people believe you can monetize on in some way. Okay, I love that. And people also see you as a very hopeful, positive person. They see the divine within you. They see you as very gentle and sweet and loving and also patient. Some people may see you as quite lucky in some way, but I think you're a very hard worker. Whatever you get, you worked hard for anyway. And I see that some people notice that hard work and then they believe that you deserve it. Whereas some people think it's just luck, but they don't see the hard work that goes behind it, behind your achievements. If you're not there yet, then I may be picking up on future energies or, you know, like when you were in school or you just being good at talented at a lot of things or gifted at a lot of things. People find a lot of happiness within the thought of you. And I keep getting like people get very obsessed with you, pile three. You don't even know, like people literally get obsessed with you. Some may have people like from your past that still stalk you on Instagram or social media. I don't know why that's coming through. What qualities do people usually notice, Spirit? I keep getting like you always bounce back. You're a very romantic soul. You romanticize your daily life. You find beauty in your daily life and you see the beauty within others. You're also very bold with the way that you dress. Bold with the things you say too. And you could also be seen as very flirtatious sometimes. And I get people love holding your hand. People love, like, whoever you've been with romantically, they love to hold your hand. They love to be romantic with you. There's something about your skin that's also very soft. I don't know why all these physical features are coming through and physical things, but I keep getting that, so I'm seeing it. Also, people really like your hair. Okay, and people notice that you could have strong leadership qualities or be an amazing boss at whatever you do. Like you have that boss type of energy to you. And I keep getting people seeing you as a travel-like person. Anything else here, Spirit? Growth, you've grown a lot. Jupiter energy is coming through, so luck again. I think this is all I have for you, pile 3. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.